Totally baseless.
Hey, it's Totally Baseless. My name's John, and with me is a guy who's been married so long he met his wife on America Online. Dan, welcome to the podcast.
Still waiting for it to buffer.
Yep. Well, his mistress he met on Grindr. So, all right, and a guy whose wife is suing Warner Brothers because her nickname was Furiosa way before the movie came out. Steve, welcome to the podcast.
Save me from the K rage. Please send help.
And a guy who claims to be yet another one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's lost sons, Dave Schwarzenegger. Welcome to the podcast.
I'll be back. Hopefully, with the money.
You're here now. We're glad you're here now. That's all I'm saying.
Hasta la
Hey,
vista.
that's like Guatemalans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's half Guatemalan. I mean, quarter Guatemalan, quarter Mexican.
Work as a maid, by the way.
Yes.
She actually did.
She did.
Well,
But not for the
go.
Schwarzeneggers, for the Browns.
That's what she tells you. No,
You
mijo.
work For Jerry Brown's family.
You're a Brown or a Schwarzenegger? Take your pick. All right. Our trivia question for the week. What was the first movie based on a video game? And what was the second movie based on a video game? And which one did better at the box office? Since you guys are tough, I got to add more to it.
Is Tron somewhere in the mix? Is that based on a
Tron
No, that just
is
must have
a
looked
That's the
like
other
a
way
movie.
around.
About a video game.
That
it's
later
not
became a
based on
video
a
Became a
game.
video
Yeah.
game. Which became
That's
another movie.
also, yeah, that's also true. Wait, there was another one like that. But no, the movie came before the video game. This one, the movie is based on the video game. The first one in the US Hollywood movie.
Is it one of those like movie
Mario
ball
Brothers.
movies from the 90s? Oh, Mario Brothers. The
I'm
one
gonna
with
say-
John Leguizamo. That one sucked.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course they're
Great
brothers.
Italian actors.
Well, you guys, I'm gonna have to give you credit all across the board here. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers came out in May 1993. What is the second movie?
I think I have a history with this one. Is it Street Fighter?
Street Fighter's the third one. It came
Damn
out
it, so close.
Oh.
1
Mortal
month
Kombat.
after the second movie.
I actually have really fond memories of necking with a girl in high school and watching Street Fighter, or trying to watch Street Fighter anyway, in a movie theater. It was great.
I love hearing the word necking, by the way.
Necking is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It means that I'm really
Potsy
hip.
in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Fonzie. Were they the Aloha Pussycats?
Hey.
I was necking with the Aloha Pussycats.
Pretty close. A month after, in 1994, Street Fighter came out in December. This movie came out in November
Double
of
Dragon.
1994.
Double Dragon.
Double Dragons, right?
There was a Double Dragon movie?
Yeah, with Scott Wolf and
Ralph Macchio.
Okay.
Scott Wolf and the guy from, I think, Miklo, isn't it? From Blood In, Blood Out.
No
Wait,
way.
do I have this wrong? Double
No,
Dragon, the film.
Yeah, well,
Hey.
who's it with?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. It's not Ralph Macchio. Maybe I was thinking Alyssa Milano, Robert Patrick, Scott Wolf. Your memory is better than mine.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess I was just wishful thinking. It was what was his name? Damien something, but he was Miklos from Blood In, Blood Out.
Yeah, Double Dragon. Okay, which one did better, Super Mario Brothers or Double Dragon? Bigger at the
They
box
both
office.
sucked.
Double,
sucked.
Double Dragon, I think.
One of them
It
did
has
much,
to be
much
Dragon.
better at the box office than the other
Wow.
one. Both,
Now
they
much
both
much
did
better
kind of
being
tank,
a
though.
relative term, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's relative. It's relative.
I'm gonna say Super Mario Brothers probably did better.
What
I'm
do you
going to take the
say?
opposite and say Double Dragon here.
Well, Scott Wolf was at the height of his party of five powers. So
Yeah,
the,
true
the
that. And
tiger beat
Alyssa
crowd.
Milano was one of the charmed ones.
So
Double Dragon.
Charmed.
you go
Yeah,
with Double Dragon?
I'm still going with Super Mario Brothers. I think it had a
Dave
lot
is
more.
right again.
Ah.
Super Mario Brothers grossed almost 39 million, and Double Dragon was a paltry $4 million.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Not even close. But they both
Yeah,
lost money. Don't worry.
Yeah, they both.
Well, a movie that absolutely did not lose money, and any movie with Nicolas Cage should never lose money. That's all I'm going to say. But yes, this is the podcast, the only podcast that only reviews movies by Nick Cage. And this time we're going to review Renfield, released last year, not based on a video game, starring, of course, Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. You get 2 Nicks for 1 in this one.
Kind of like
Nick.
Double Dragons, but double
Double
Nicholas.
Trying to
Yeah,
get
and
that phrase going. It's a double Nick.
Dracul means dragon.
it's-
So yeah, I think you're onto something.
Oh,
Double
look at
Nickels,
that.
the double Nickels,
Unintentionally.
55.
In that by mistake. Yeah. Yeah. So what was your guys' take on the movie? I know we all just saw it again.
Oh,
Of course, we watched it right away as soon as any Nicolas Cage movie comes out.
A year later, but
I think it's awesome.
It's pretty awesome. It's kind of a throwback to like the those really gory horror comedies from like the early 80s, like what's the
What?
dead one? Like
The
Evil
Dead
Dead
one.
and all that.
Fright
Yeah.
Night. Fright
Oh,
Night.
Evil Dead. Yeah, Fright Night.
Love Evil Dead. Yeah, yeah. It's
Where they're
awesome.
like totally tongue in cheek and
Like
Yes.
when you're
I-
necking.
Like when you're
Exactly.
naked, yeah.
Watching Double Dragon or Street Fighter. Yeah.
which,
No,
by the
but-
way, invites a girl to go see Street Fighter. The assumption is you're not going to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Who wants to see that movie, right?
Yeah.
So you did right. Yeah, I mean, you did the right thing.
She knew the score.
If you would have said you sat there and watched the movie, then we would have been
That
like,
would have
wait
been,
a minute.
Yeah.
Suspect.
Yeah.
You're suspect.
No. Us young kicks say sus now, by the way.
They say sus, yeah.
Oh, that's what that means.
Sus and ris. Speaking of young kids, I think this movie is Skibidi Toilet.
I've heard what that. I've heard that, but I have no idea what they mean when they say it.
But it's
I
definitely
have
not
no
mid.
idea. It's not mid. No, it's not mid. It may be Sigma, but it's definitely not mid.
No cap, man. No cap.
Real for real. No, it's an awesome movie. I also, I really do enjoy the fact that it's actually based, or rather, it's centered on Renfield, not on Dracula. So sort of a nice look at the side. I feel like the sidekick barely gets any love, and this is the opposite of that. So it was fun to see the other side of this.
I like that it was kind of like a superhero movie, right? They made Renfield kind of
Yeah.
he's a superhero. His origin story as a superhero, I guess.
Yeah, totally. He's not just the toady. He's actually like has powers and is capable of doing stuff.
Buggy.
Yeah.
Buggy, yeah.
Not toady, he's buggy.
But he is in a toxic relationship. That was good. I liked it. I liked the beginning where they referenced the old Bela Lugosi black and white Dracula.
Yeah.
It's weird because Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult do look like the actual actors that play
Yeah.
Dracula and Renfield, right? And those scenes, I guess, were taken from the original movie, like the black and white scenes at the beginning.
Yeah.
Were kind of recreated from the first original movie. So it was kind of trippy because in a way you get lost in the fact that Nicolas Cage does look like either Bela Lugosi at times and Christopher Lee at times. Like if in certain ways his performance kind of, you're like, he looks like Christopher Lee or he looks like Bela Lugosi. So they're kind of doing a really good tribute to Dracula,
Tying
but
it
also
in,
they're tying it in, and they're kind of, I guess, what would Renfield's day look like?
I've often wondered that.
Yeah. So what is the guy eating the bugs going to do? What does he do all day?
Right? Like, how did he get there?
What's his story? What's his deal? We know Dracula's deal. What's the other guy's deal? And I like that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just was wondering, like, did they tell Nicolas Cage to, like, hey, play it straight like it's another Dracula movie, or like
what was his
yeah,
exactly, what was his
I mean, tone it down.
which one?
because
you don't know.
I think he did both.
You really can't tell. Like, did they tell him, dude, this is a vampire movie, you're playing Dracula, and is
Play
that what you do? Or did they tell him, hey, kind of like Bela Lugosi it up a bit?
They told him either take it down a notch or bring it up a bit.
Yeah, I like the whole codependent workshop kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny with Renfield.
Yeah, and the fight scenes were really cool. I mean, over the top, right? Ripping the hands off and then beating people with them. I thought that was great. And then he launches one like a stake through one of the guy. So yeah, it was good.
I was like, yeah, that perfect mashup of like cheesy, over the top martial arts movie with, the whole codependence with the whole homage to the old Bela Lugosi one, and it worked. It could have been like a train
and
wreck, but
gore
it
and
worked.
so much
Yeah,
gore too.
yeah. When he
It's such a
punches the
bloody
head
movie.
off that guy, that was good. Or
Oh,
the head blows up. I like the Ben Schwartz with Ben
oh, he's
Schwartz.
awesome.
Yeah,
Tony Lobo, is that his name?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony
Oh,
Lobo.
he's so good.
He's he's
John
what's his,
Ralphio. He's John
he's
Ralphio.
yes, he's John
Yes,
Ralphio, right?
Yeah, yep,
so smarmy.
yeah,
And
yeah. That guy plays the perfect
but like clueless
smarmy.
smarmy.
Yeah,
Like
Smarmy. That's the good word.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just feel like you need a shower after every time you watch him. You're like, ah, but he's hilarious.
That's my post podcast routine, by the way.
I think I need a shower after this.
It's funny because this movie was set I think in New Orleans, right? But it feels like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like a New Orleans movie. And I wonder whether that was sort of an homage to like what's the Anne Rice movies from the 90s or
Oh,
the books, I guess.
Interview with the
Interview with
Vampire.
the Vampire.
Yeah,
Yes, because
yeah,
those are all set in New Orleans, I think,
yeah.
because she's from
Well,
there.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
at least, yeah. I think most of it is set in New Orleans.
But it didn't feel like, like the Big Izzy or something. Like it didn't feel like a New Orleans movie. It just felt like a movie that happens to be taking place in the city.
Yeah, yeah. There was nothing really New Orleans about it, I guess,
No,
other
no,
than
no
Cafe
brass.
Du Monde.
yeah,
Yes.
But yeah, they weren't
It-
all speaking with like Cajun accents.
yeah,
Or, like,
yeah.
They're not eating crawfish etouffee or whatever.
Yeah, it was just
Like
Aquafina.
Aquafina stuffing like one of those
Yeah,
beignets in her mouth or
yeah,
something,
yeah.
and like they're trying to play
Here,
it up.
let me have a beignet.
How,
Oh,
how
would you
did you
like
like
some
Aquafina?
etouffee? Yeah, like every minute they weren't like,
Yeah, right.
Eating
I think
crawdads or something. I liked it. It was right up Nick Cage's alley as far
Yep.
as playing over the top characters. But we
Yeah.
don't know if he was being over the top.
like that's now the eternal like mystery. Was he going for that, or just that's baseline and it worked
Yeah, they're
with the
just like, you know
movie,
what?
right?
Yeah, he's asking for notes, and they're like, just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, so what level of Nicolas Cage do you think this was? 1 through 10?
So
Yeah.
what's
How Nick
one
Cage was
and
he?
what's 10?
Like
Let's
one. Geez, when is he at one?
I just
That guy's
watched
never
Con
a
Air,
one.
and he was awesome in Con Air, but that's more like a subdued,
Yeah,
former I think army guy or whatever. But yeah,
but maybe a
I'm gonna say
10
that's
would
like a
be
three.
the unbearable weight of massive talent,
Yeah.
where he's totally Cage squared in that.
Off the rails, unhinged Cage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with like a seven. It's not
Yeah,
quite like author, but it's like a seven. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was about to say. Because I mean, the character of Dracula has to be a little over the top, right? Because he's not
The,
human, right?
the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think he played it well. I think, like I said, I think they got the right guy to play it. So yeah, a seven. I think it's seven on a scale of 1 to 10
1 to 10
Nicolas Cages.
cages.
Yeah.
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 How many
One,
cages
one
do you
being
give it?
Nicholas Coppola in Fast Times.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. That would be a one. And then
Yeah, he's
All
pretty
right.
mellow, right? He's a surfer dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A 10 being Nicolas Cage in Raising Arizona or something.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Where
quick question for all of you. Do you know the other vampire-based Nick Cage movie
Oh,
from the 90s?
Kiss of a
48
Vampire?
cockroaches.
Vampire's Kiss.
Vampire's
Vampire's
Kiss, that's
Kiss.
the one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That,
And
yeah, that's the
and
one
that
with,
one, I think, it may be like a nine or
Yes.
a 10.
Yes, that he ate a roach in that. I think
He
he
ate a
means
roach in that one,
yeah.
yes.
and he was not playing Renfield, which
You
is
know, I actually saw another Nick Cage movie last night just to get in the Nick Cage
He's
mood, I
in
guess.
most of them, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Cage is in most Nick Cage movies.
yes.
Yeah.
But no, it's really good. It was just kind of a effed up movie. Was 8 millimeter.
Oh, that's a really
Oh,
old
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
like a serial
Yeah,
killer
that's like
thing?
30 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of an effed up subject, right?
Yeah.
Oh, like
he has to
snuff
go.
films or something, right?
Yes, the snuff. Yeah, the snuff
Yeah.
film. Yep, it
I
was
also
really
saw that in
good.
the theaters. Yeah.
It was really good because he wasn't like over the top Nicolas Cage, but
Well, yeah, he had this sweet spot where he was making those. There was like Snake Eyes.
Snake
was
Eyes he was
Con
over the
Air.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Lord of War is probably my favorite Nick Cage movie. He was just awesome in that movie.
Oh,
Face
And
Off.
that one, I think he was a 4. 4 Nick Cages out of 10.
he
As
was
far
actually
as
acting.
yeah,
Pretty subdued, yeah.
yeah, he was pretty subdued. He
He
wasn't
was that
crazy.
character.
Yeah.
Whereas Face Off, he's more like a
Oh, Face Off, he's like
8.
9 or 10.
He's
Yeah.
like a 12.
Yeah, because
Was
he's
he
playing
that?
two
Was he that
characters,
over the
right?
top in Face Off? I have to see that again.
Yes, when he's playing John Travolta's
Face
character, he's
Off.
over the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Face Off.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Uber Cage in that.
But it's almost like there's like, to quote the youngins, there's these eras of Nicolas Cage, right? There's
Yeah.
Nick Coppola, which kind of transitions into Valley Girl Nick Cage, kind of a little bit of an extension. And then he does kind of like more serious stuff, like what the movie with Cher, Moonstruck, where he's kind of goofy,
Yeah.
and then Raising Arizona, and then like he gradually
Yeah.
devolves into
Yeah,
Evolve.
I think where we saw glimpses of him getting weird was Peggy Sue Got Married when he decided, and I think we talked about this last time. I just can't get over the fact he decided to use that weird voice
yes.
for the
Hey,
character.
Peggy.
Yeah.
We're gonna get married.
Yeah. He's got a creepy, sex pervert type voice, and you're like, you're supposed to be just a normal high school kid.
Yeah, I don't know, like 50s high school kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's also all of a sudden he's some sort of creeper, and it's like,
yeah, what were the notes on that one, right? Yeah, go with that voice, Nick. I think it'll work for this movie.
I'll blame the director on that one.
well, that was Francis Ford Coppola. He was directing.
Oh, that guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh,
Yeah,
his
I think
uncle, right? His uncle.
Yeah,
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
Yeah, I think he thought, let's see how much I can get away with. My uncle's the director. Hello.
Do whatever
baby.
you want, kiddo.
Yeah, it's perfect. Keep
So
going.
it's funny because if you look at Nick Cage's Wikipedia, they have his career in 6 stages. Pretty fascinating. The first one is early work and breakthrough. So that's like, the Peggy Sue Got Married, the Vampire Skies and all that. And then he has a career slump, which is 89 to 94.
2024.
And I think that's no, that is sacrilege. How dare you? That is sacrilege. And then he engages in basically like he has critical success and action star status basically from the mid 90s to the mid 2000s. And that's like, awesome Con
Air. Las
Air.
Vegas?
Yes. So like I think he wins an Oscar.
Yeah.
For that, I think
Leaving Las
he
Vegas.
famously he went on a binge drinking for 2 weeks so he can prepare for the movie, which is incredible. So really a man who is really
college dude.
Yeah, he is. He's a man of his craft for
He
sure.
stayed
Yeah,
in a frat house for 2 weeks to prepare for this film.
just butt chugging vodka for 2
Yeah,
weeks.
I'm gonna drink a lot and have sex with prostitutes just to get into the role.
Yeah, I'm researching the role.
Yeah, it's research, man. What?
Well, yes, I am
what it is,
divorced. Why do you ask?
Yeah, exactly. I am now.
You ask, yeah. But now he seems to be in like pretty good movies, right? For the past like 5 years or so, like Renfield and Pig, right, and all these other awesome films.
Yeah,
Critically accepted, yeah.
But like we famously said before, I think he's out from under the IRS.
Yes.
So his choice in movies, he doesn't have to work just to pay off a debt.
But knowing that he's also kind of a wackadoo.
All of us have to do that. Why does he have to get away with not have to work?
Well, no. He still works, but now he gets to pick and choose. Yeah, because we also didn't buy castles and bones from mummified corpses and end up owing millions of dollars to the IRS, right?
But Superman's original costume and
I think about like dinosaur bones too at some point. Is that a thing?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But George Reeves codpiece, maybe, I don't know.
Allegedly.
Yeah, Dan, your mic's on, by the way.
He would have made some of those crap movies, even if he didn't owe money.
Maybe, but not as many. You know what I mean? After a while, he's just like, okay, put me in another one, coach. Put me in, coach. Put me in. You know, he
Like,
just
I'm sure, why not? I'm
yeah.
not doing anything on Saturday. You think it's one of those deals?
It was like going out of business sale. I won't say no to anything, right? Just bam, 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 bam. And
Okay,
I think now
we need around 6 weeks to film this. Can you do it in 10 days?
yeah. I got two more movies lined up at the same time.
Can I get an advance on that pay?
Make the check out to IRS, please. Yeah, but I think now he can step back a little and be a little bit more choosy on his roles, and he's starting to get to those movies that were like, yeah, that's a Nicolas Cage movie, but it's a good Nicolas Cage movie. You know, because I mean he's always had a niche of being quirky, but the movies he was in before were
good movies.
Yeah, they were good. A Nick Cage movie is a Nick Cage movie. Now, whether it's good or bad, depends on how much money he owes. So at least now he's getting to do the good Nick Cage movies, I guess.
I wonder if he'll do this forever. Like, is he always going to be sort of this indie darling making good movies, or will he go back to making just schlock?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. Does he like doing the big studio films, or does he like doing these smaller independent films where he gets to go off the rails if he wanted to go off the rails?
Well, you can ask him yourself. He's actually joining us on the podcast.
All right. Friend of the program. Friend of the show, Nick Cage. How you doing?
Yeah. Hey, I don't like what you said about Peggy Sue Got Married. I was actually that was one of my best roles.
This jacket is a symbol of my individuality.
He was channeling Brando or something.
So it's just a coincidence. My uncle was the director.
Yeah. Happy coincidence. But then, right, isn't that kind of like what Brando did, though? Like, just stopped giving a fuck and stopped making.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fat Brando was phoning everything in. Yeah. Fat Brando was cashing checks and not caring.
Is that the final stage of Brando? Fat Brando?
Yeah. I think after Godfather 2, he didn't care what he did, right? He was
I'm not sure he cared in Godfather 2, but you know, they got it out of him somehow.
In, right? They at least reined him in. They didn't let him wear a muumuu and white makeup
to the script.
Yeah. They're like, you have to wear clothes, not a muumuu. Because if it was just Brando being himself, I'm gonna wear this muumuu. I don't know about the choice you're making as an actor, but what can we do, right?
How does he sound again?
I'm gonna wear this muumuu.
Oh my God.
Not bad.
That was actually awesome.
That's Fat Brando. Stella.
See, it's called going full Brando, right? You go full Brando, where you just completely go off the rails.
Well, you have to own an island in Tahiti, right? I mean, that has to be your mindset. You know what? I'm going to buy myself an island. I'm just going to go and I'm going to be native.
So maybe that's what like Nick Cage was trying to do. He's like, well, I'm not going to buy an island, but maybe I'll buy a castle. And kind of like,
I guess, he
also went on a quest to actually find the Holy Grail, which is like he actually did this. He was poking around England looking for the Holy Grail.
Oh, that's awesome.
Know what? I believe you. There's nothing that says, you know what, you're making that up.
Yeah.
That tracks. Yeah,
that tracks very well. Very Nick Cage.
I would be more surprised if he hadn't done that.
Exactly. Well, it would have been cool if he was like in full armor. and he had like a whole company of men behind him in horses, and they're like riding in like King Arthur and Lancelot and Galahad and all.
He's like, I rented these guys.
Yeah.
Better find that grail soon.
And he's filming a documentary. Nick Cage Search for the Holy Grail.
That's the thing that's not a movie.
Yeah.
It's a documentary on PBS.
It'll be out soon. Coming in March. That's a new movie coming out. That's our idea for another movie.
We're going to pitch that to Nick Cage.
Podcaster.
Nick Cage in the year 2024 of our Lord went and searched for the Holy Grail, and this is what happened. And this gets him riding from town to town in England or France or.
You got the Holy Grail. I bought 3 of them so far.
The best part would be if it's somewhere nowhere near where the Holy Grail is supposed to be. It's like Nick Cage in Singapore looking for the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I got a tip. I got this very hot tip, man.
It's like the opposite of those actual shows where they do all the research. He just shows up some random ass place. Do you have the Holy Grail?
Ringing doorbells, going door to door. Somewhere in the suburbs in the valley. Aren't you Nick Cage? Yes.
Yes, you may know me from such films as The Retirement Plan and
Gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah, why are you looking for the Holy Grail? Because you know me from such movies as The Retirement Plan. I need money.
Exactly.
But yeah, so what do we think of this movie? Would you recommend? Here's our rating scale. Would you? Because Nick Cage movies are binary. Would you recommend this movie to your best friend and insist that they see it, or would you insist that your worst enemy see this? That's your Nick Cage scale.
Ooh.
Presumably, my best friend likes schlock like I do, so I'd say 3 thumbs up. Highly recommend.
I'd recommend it, yes. But
Recommend
I'd recommend
to your
it to
best friend.
I'd recommend it to both because it's a face-off.
Oh, okay.
See, I don't know which one is which.
You insist that your worst enemy see it.
I would recommend it to my best friend, but not John Travolta.
Okay.
Because John Travolta's probably the enemy.
Yes.
With the face of your friend. So do you recommend it to?
I don't not recommend it to my worst enemy.
And it's that sweet spot of a movie because it knows what it is. It's intentionally like over the top schlock with Nick Cage being Bela Lugosi with like the wink and a nod silliness of Renfield trying to read self-help books. So it's like, it's a sweet spot of movie. It's not overly serious. It's supposed to be preposterous, but without being like over the top preposterous that it's stupid.
Yeah. It knows its genre, comedy horror with a little bit of action, right?
Yeah.
So,
I like the whole codependent meetings and all that, playing with that. It's pretty funny.
It's not unintentionally funny like horror schlock movies can be, where like it's so off the rails bad that you laugh at the whole thing the whole way through.
That sounds like the Totally Baseless podcast. All right. Well, it sounds like the verdict is in. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention, spoiler alert for Renfield. That's Totally Baseless for this week. Please hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See you later.
Check you later.
Oh, this thing sucks.